I can't quite believe that I'm saying this, but we are halfway through 2025. And as you know, I'm on a mission to see 52 shows this year, which means one show a week. And I am happy to report back that I am on track to do that this year as well as last year. So I have seen 31 shows in total. So we're going to talk about my top 5 shows from the first half of the year, which you can still see for a significant amount of time since this video is published. So I hope this helps you navigate your London theater scene, and if you like the sound of it, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. We're going to start with the best first, and this is the show that I loved the most in 2025. Bear in mind that I wasn't a fan of this musical before I went to see this latest revival. I'm sure if you follow my channel, you know what I'm talking about, and that is Evita. Evita with Rachel Zegler, directed by Jamie Lloyd, is the latest revival that everyone is talking about, and the reason for it is just an impeccable delivery by the cast. The production that really enhances all elements of this story to the point that you go to the theater and you're just amazed at every single moment in that journey. Like, as an audience member, I was in awe of everything that was happening on stage, and this is one of my top 3 theater experiences ever, I think. So this is such high praise. I've already seen it twice and it only opened less than 3 weeks ago. So if you can, go and check out Evita, because it's a short run until the beginning of September, and I genuinely think this is not only the event of summer but of the year, and this is one of those revivals that will get so many awards and it will be talked about for years to come. To recap it, Evita is a well-established musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber. It follows the story of Eva Perón, who was Argentina's first lady in the late 1940s and early 1950s. She actually passed away when she was only 33, and the musical follows her rise to power from about when she was 15 up until her death. And it is a really interesting musical. The score is so vibrant and has a lot of different influences, such as Latin music, but then also a lot of rocky and rock opera style of singing. The choreography in this production is incredible. The ensemble members are equally worth the praise, as much as Rachel Zegler and Diego Andres Rodriguez, who's playing Che. Rachel Zegler absolutely shines in this role. It is my first time seeing her live on stage, and I just couldn't believe the vocals that were coming out of her, because it really felt like witnessing history, because this is her Western debut, and it just feels that this is going to be a career-defining role for her, because she really is managing to showcase everything that she is excelling in. She's only 24 years old, and I am incredibly excited to see what she does as a performer, as well as the rest of the cast in this production, because they are impeccable. It is a bit more of a stripped down, minimalist way of delivering the show, but it is so powerful. And don't let that put you in doubt about this show, because it has all of the right ingredients to make Evita shine as a piece of theater. My second favorite show of the year is The Importance of Being Earnest. This is a National Theatre production that I managed to catch just before it closed in January. It was a sold-out show with Ncuti Gatwa, Hugh Skinner, quite a few big A-list celebrities, and honestly, this play is just an amazing comedy. If you like Oscar Wilde and the way that he writes and the wit that he brings to the theater, then there is definitely not a better show to check out. I'm a massive fan of Oscar Wilde, and I just love the way that he saw the world and the way that he talked about the world. So this is one of my favorite plays that I have seen this year, and the best news is that it's coming back to the West End. So it's a National Theatre to West End transfer. It's going to play at the Noel Coward Theatre from September until early January. So now is the time to book tickets for this one if you're interested in checking it out. If you're unfamiliar with the plot of The Importance of Being Earnest, it follows 2 friends from high Victorian society in England who pretend to be named Ernest. It is very much a critique of what Victorian society was paying attention to and how superficial people tend to be and what matters to people. This is the play that in a really witty way asks the questions and challenges you to think about things that we just simply accept in the society and don't question too much. But I think it does belong in a certain time, and that's what it makes it even more interesting. Particularly National Theatre production is beautiful. It is very colorful, it is very flamboyant, it is very out there, but then also it's one of those productions where there's a big set, beautiful costumes, really interesting blocking on stage and choreographies, and also the cast was amazing when I went to see it. Given that it's just been announced that it's coming back to the West End, this play is yet to have the full cast confirmed, but we do know that Ollie Alexander from the series It's a Sin, and he's also a performer from the group Years and Years, will be in the role of Algie, who is one of the two key characters. It's going to be really exciting to see him in this role. Also, this play was professionally shot during its run at the National Theatre, so if you aren't able to maybe come to London, or you would really like to check it out but you don't know if you're going to be around here in September to January, then check out the National Theatre at home. And it also was available in cinemas for a while, so you can check that out as an alternative as well. But if you can check it out in the West End, then I would say this is my number 2 recommendation from the first half of the year. The third show that made a really big impression on me during the first half of the year is My Neighbor Totoro. This is not necessarily a new show. This is the third time that My Neighbor Totoro is back in London. This is the Royal Shakespeare Company production that got multiple awards a couple of years ago, and because it was so popular and much beloved, they returned it to London at Gillian Lynn Theatre in the West End. You might be familiar with the storyline of My Neighbor Totoro because this is a really famous animation by Studio Ghibli, which was released in 1988. It follows two sisters, Mei and Satsuki, as they move into suburban village in Japan with their father and their mother, who is in the hospital, and they move into this new house, and as they are very young, they start seeing these different creatures and imagining them and building stories around living with them. And it is a really beautiful story about imagination and about being a child, and how things from child's perspective look so much more exciting and different. And it is just such a heartwarming story that is suitable for a whole family, guaranteed to just like fill you with beautiful energy by the end of the show. The most exciting part about this production are the puppets. There are all sorts of puppets that are part of the show. Totoro is the biggest, and it occupies, I'm not exaggerating, but like 5th of the stage. It is the biggest puppet that I've ever seen on stage, and it is actually managed by, I would say, something in between 5 to 8 people, and all is choreographed so beautifully, and it makes it so real. So I just wish I was a kid and I went to theater to see this, because it would seem so magical. And Totoro is not the only puppet and creature in the show. There is the cat bus. There are also these spider-like creatures that are everywhere on the walls, and they're like following them. And then there are also these other cute little plushy ones that Mei and Satsuki are following before they meet Totoro. So this truly is such a unique production that just takes you to this magical world. Another really incredible aspect of this production is music, which is identical from the animated movie. It's written by Joe Hisaishi, who was very much involved also in this production and making sure that is as true to the animation as possible. So if you like Studio Ghibli and you have seen this animated movie and you resonated with it, then I think you would love this show so much. The fourth show that I wanted to talk to you about is A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is currently on at the Bridge Theatre. This is a well-established comedy by William Shakespeare, and is one of those plays that you can always see somewhere during summertime. And I've seen a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream about a year ago, and I was like, fine, this is okay, nothing spectacular, it was really fun, but it wasn't a showstopper. But this version of A Midsummer Night's Dream is truly different to any other version that I've experienced, because they incorporated aerial acrobatics, and they have made the space in the theater suitable for these amazing formations in the air by these incredibly skilled acrobats who are not only acrobats, but they're also dancers and actors. And the cast of this current production is unbelievable. And not only that, the Bridge Theatre has always a nice way of making productions semi-immersive. So basically you can get a ticket to actually stand by the actors in so-called the pit. The standing tickets are really fun because you're literally so close to the actors, and you can follow the action so closely and see where they're moving, and sometimes they're actually going through the audience. So this production of Midsummer Night's Dream was so engaging from the moment when you enter into the theater, because there was choir, there was singing, there were some actors who were like already on stage. So there are so many things that are making this production very engaging and suitable for anyone pretty much from high high school upwards because it's a very fun story. So for anyone who might not be familiar with the storyline of this famous comedy by Shakespeare, it follows four young lovers who all have different love interests, and then there's also this theater group who are rehearsing in this forest which is full of fairies and these magical creatures, and then these magical creatures decide to make a little bit of mess of their love lives, and then accidentally they make people who are not meant to fall in love with each other fall in love with each other, and a lot of funny situations arise from it. And generally it's just such a feel-good show that is perfect for a summer night in London to enjoy it, especially Bridge Theatre is by the Tower Bridge, so it's a perfect show to go and see and then stroll along the Thames and really feel like you are in London enjoying Shakespeare's play and beautiful sights on a summer night. And the fifth show that I wanted to talk about is Titanic. This is a hilarious parody comedy that you can see at the Criterion Theatre. It follows the same exact storyline from the movie Titanic, but there's one major plot twist, and that is that Celine Dion is narrating this show. And not only that she's narrating it, but she's one of the key characters in this revamped version of Titanic. She has an eye on Jack, but then also Jack is gay, and there are so many different queer characters who are not queer in the movie, which has an underlying tone of really hilarious elements. And if you like comedy that has some elements of even stand-up and improv, then this show is something that you must check out. Also, if you're a fan of Celine Dion, then I think this is the best show for you because there are plenty of big Celine Dion numbers, including My Heart Will Go On, that you can hear in this show, and it is classed as musical. So there are quite a few of really incredible musical numbers. This musical has won the Olivier Award for Best New Entertainment. Not only that the production has received an Olivier Award, but a few people from the cast have also been nominated for Olivier Awards, and one of them has also won them. So the cast is great and very engaging, and I think what is so special about this show is the communication between the audience members and the cast, and really hilarious moments in the show that come on the back of it. So, and it is one of those shows that I haven't spoken to a single person that's gone to see Titanic and that they didn't have fun. If you're looking for something lighthearted, stellar cast with a story that you already know, and to hear also some songs that you might love, then Titanic is definitely a show that is worth of your attention. And that concludes the list of my top 5 shows from the first half of the year. I'm obviously continuing with my 52-week challenge, so let me know in the comments below how many shows have you seen within these first 6 months of the year. If you're interested in finding out cheap tickets for any of these shows, then I recommend you go and see this video where I'm talking about my favorite ways of securing cheap tickets in London.